storia buffa da raccontarti. Oggi la mia dermatologa mi ha detto che parlando con un'amica è arrivata alla conclusione di voler fare con lei un ménage à trois.
Di punto in bianco?
Di punto in bianco. E mi ha anche chiesto se conoscevo qualcuno. Le ho risposto sì, ma le costerà $1000. Stavo pensando a te.
A me?
Well, I don't think I was trying to make a political movie at all. I'm not. I was trying to make a movie that's, you know, entertaining and that has, you know, humanity. But obviously, lots of people, young people, older people too, you know, are struggling to make a living and exist. So these guys come up with this crazy idea. But in the course of the story, you understand that there's a price people pay. You know, things can be going well, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, this, you know, people are affected by what you do, too. So I certainly don't want to encourage people to go into the sex trade. That's not my intention. But the movie is really more about, you know, intimacy and how people can be lonely even if you're with someone, and friendship and what that entails, and that how, you know, loneliness, you know, there can be a lot of reasons a person's lonely. You could not have a job, you could not have a friend, you could not have a lover, you know. So you try to do a specific story, and if it has other echoes, that's good, you know. My original idea is my friend had a bookstore, and the bookstore closed. And a lot of bookstores everywhere are closing. And a lot of other kind of places close that are small.
Tu hai bisogno di soldi e io chiudo la libreria.
Ma io non sono un bell'uomo.
Mick Jagger è un bell'uomo? Sei un amante esperto, perché non farti pagare per farlo? Potresti darmi una piccola percentuale.
Vuoi fare il pappa? Devi avere un nome.
Sarò Dan Bongo.
È un piacere conoscerti, Dan.
I think the movie, even though the characters are older, it still has ramifications for a young audience, because they too are going to meet someone and have relationship and see, yeah, what the cost of that is and what that means beyond having, you know, sex, you know. So I tried to put the characters in this movie who are older in situations that are new for them. So, you know, the guy never worked as a gigolò. For him, it's a first time, like a first date. And someone like Sharon Stone, she never paid for it, so she doesn't know what to do. So I tried to put the characters in situations that they would be in maybe when they were 18 anni, you know what I mean, when they were young. Because people can be 50 years old, and, you know, you can have someone can die, you can get divorced, and then you have to start over again. And it's not easy to be with another person and listen to them, and, you know, the little things become very big. And so I tried to put that inside of a comedy, or a human comedy, you know.
È alto? Sì. Penso che dovrei provarlo.
I did a lot of versions. I started writing it before I had a script, and I told Woody the idea. So I would write it, and Woody would give me his feedback, and then I would rewrite it. He encouraged me to be much more, you know, to try to make it as sophisticated and deep. So he kept giving me criticism, brutal criticism, and I kept thinking about it, and I think, you know, he encouraged me and helped me to make it more complex.
What do you think about prostitution legalization?
Well, you know, the prostitution, I didn't really explore it in a very deep, serious way. I used it more as a metaphor. But obviously, there's a lot of exploitation that goes on. There are a lot of people who think it should be legalized. And if it would help people not be exploited and give them different rights, and it would be safer, then maybe that isn't a bad thing. I think that it would be depending. It would depend on how it was structured, but it's always been around, and it will always be around. And so there's a reason for it, because people, people are lonely,